So pack 12 has finally arrived. Pack 12 is the final pack of the entire build. If you remember, we did pack 11 previously in a far in the distance. I could tell you the exact date. That went live on I can't remember. I've lost it. That went live in September, 4th of September. So it's now the 30th of October, I hope, if I planned this correctly. So this is going to be stage 70 and 71, which is assembling the left and the right fly section. 72, which is a storage compartment, walkways and tools, and the rear wheels and attaching the wheels and components to the roof is going to be another video. 75 and 76, which is aerial base section, ladder and waterway, that's both going to be one bit. Then we've got 77 and 78 will be a video, aerial upper midsection ladder and waterway, adding fine details. And then I'm going to make a special video right at the very end, which should go out at the end of November, which I'm going to do a little showcase of the whole model. I'll try and do some filming with my mobile phone, and I can just get in and we'll demonstrate all the noises and everything that it does, and I'll really try to show off the entire model. So this is stage 70 and 71. I do have an apology to make. I did film this and I had my microphone on mute. So it's only a screwdriver build, so I've taken it all apart from two tiny little details which I'll explain. I'm going to be absolutely honest with you guys, this is take 3. Okay, so lights, camera, action, take 3. That's what they do in the movies, isn't it? Take 3, go. So this is stage 70, assembling the left fly section. And for this stage, there are quite a few parts, actually. We have, I'm deliberately holding my thumb there. This is not the fly section left. This is the fly section left, which looks very similar to some pieces that we've done before. We also have a waterway bracket. Again, these are things that we've seen before. And we have a stop plate, which I've put in. I'll explain about that. We have 2 F-type screws, which I've already put away. And a really nice touch, we have spare screws. So we have 5 type A's, 10 type B's, 5 type C's, 3 type D's, 1 type B, 1 type H, 1 type I, 5 J's, 1 K, 5 L's, 1 M, 1 O. Now, I have one criticism. They've given us these spare screws right at the very end. Now, if we've needed any screws, any extras, maybe we've lost some, we would have needed them by now. So why didn't they give these in pack 1 and maybe one of the pieces? Let's see what I've got in the spares box. So all like, there we go, there's the hose that we did in stage 1. That could have been left for stage pack 12. Maybe this little stick could have been left for this stage. We've got some, I know we've got some windscreen wipers in here. That could have been left for stage 12. Why have I got one windscreen wiper? We've got some ladders. We could have left the ladders till the last stage. So 2 wing mirrors. Look, those wing mirrors have been in there for months and months. So yeah, one criticism that I've got, guys, I don't like to diss it. It is a good model overall, but yeah, these spare screws have become a little bit late. I've managed that. Well, I say I've managed. There was one screw I had an issue with. Right, so let's get on with the build. So the first thing we need to do is attach the stop plate. Now I have done stop plates on previous issues, so this is exactly the same. It's a little rounded peg with a square, with a flattened end. Now the peg fits in perfectly, but then they've painted the part, which has made it a bit fatter. In this particular instance and the next stage, I just filed off the paint just from the flat end and it fitted in fine. If that still didn't fit, I would just gently file a little bit more. Try that, and I'll just keep filing until it fits. Because it fitted after just one file, I've decided to leave it for the reason that it may actually have taken the paint off as I put it in, and that's what's securing it in. It's a really tight fit and I don't want to jinx it. So that's in absolutely fine. So once that's in, you're going to need a C-type screw, and you're going to need the waterway bracket. And what we're going to do, we're going to get our screw ready, because we never remembered to get our screws ready. This bracket, it has a hole in it and it has one end flat, and then this peg there has a flat side. That's going to go on like that. And what we're going to do is we're going to attach this screw from the inside. C-type screw, we're just going to attach it just enough to bite. And what's going to happen is, as you turn that screw, can you see it's going to turn that bracket? So you need to hold that bracket in place, turn it very gently, let that part be pulled into the arm, and then keep holding it nice and tight until that is fixed firmly in place, which it is. Now I'll show you this. These are the previous ones that we've done, so just as a little check, we can see that it is, obviously something's going to run up there, so we know we've got that on the right side. So use your model as reference material. Right, and that is that section done. That's stage 70 complete. So moving on to stage 71, we received the right side of the fly section. We've got a stop plate, which again I've already put into place. We've got two F-type screws, one C and one I screw, two I screws. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pop that stop plate into place there. And that's gone a little bit loose, but if that is loose, you can glue that in, but I'm finding that push fit connection is working very, very well. So once we've got that stop plate in, we turn this over, and what we need to do is we need to take the waterway connector from stage 62, and you'll see that there is pegs on either side. One is thinner than the other. Take the thinner section and pop that into the hole there, and then the next step, I bet you can guess what this is. We're going to take the other fly section. You'll see there's a hole there, lining up that hole with the two screw holes located there and there. We're going to put that in like that. That should move freely, which it does. And what we're going to do now is take two I screws, and what I'm going to do is just screw this one in just enough to bite, like so. And then I'm going to take the second one, I'm going to screw that all the way in, and it will tell us when to stop. There we go. Now guys, you might see me moving the screwdriver quite fast, but actually I'm not applying a lot of pressure. So when it comes to its stop point, I won't be over wrenching. It's a little bit like low torque. There you go, it stops there. So my fingers are slipping. So we just tighten that up to where we want it to go. Make sure that's not going to come apart. I'm happy with that, very happy with that. Right, so now we're getting to some interesting bits. So you may remember this piece. This piece I did complain a bit about. It has two pistons in it, like so. One of my grumbles was that they're in there loose. Now if I pick that up the wrong way, you see the pistons fall out, but we're going to use these now, so that's quite handy. I'm pretty sure I forgot a piece on the parts checklist. No, I did not. Right, so what we need to do now is I'm going to find this easier to get 4 F-type screws ready. The next few sections we only need 2 F screws for this particular bit, but then we're going to move on to another section and we're going to need another F screw. So I'm just going to get them all ready. So on this piece here you'll see there's 2 holes there, one there and one there. What it actually is a double piece with holes on both sides, and this piston has a hole in the top. That piston is going to go into that so that you can see all the way through. And now this F screw, let's get a focus on that. You'll see that it's got 1/3 has got screw thread and 2/3 is just plain, and that's going to create a pivot. So it's going to go through there, and it's going to screw into this bit on this side, and on that one it's going to go in that way, screw in there, and that's going to hold that piston in place but allow free movement. So this is the tricky bit. It's just getting the piston in the first place, getting it lined up. I find it easy to position the screw in and then just fiddle around with the piston, but that one's gone in quite easily. And just as always, we're screwing into plastic. Careful where you hold this, because watch that stop plate. And we just screw that until it's in. Now I would like free movement on that, so I think that's a little bit tight. So I'm just going to back that off just a tiny bit. And the easiest way to tell when you've got it loosened enough, hold it up like that, so that when you loosen it enough, gravity will take over. There we go. So now there's free movement there. So we're going to take another F screw and we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. We pop our piston in. We need some way to hold this. Position it so the hole is there. See if that works. Oh, that went straight in. So just a light screw, and then we can tighten that up. I'm just trying to avoid that stop plate like the plague. Right, there we go. So that's a little bit loose. There we go. So look, we can see there's no free movement there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to back that screw off very slowly, very gently. There. So you see that those, no, that's not quite enough. A little bit more. There we go. So those pistons have free movement. That's exactly how I want it. Okay, so the next bit, we want to take our turntable. Now watch out for this, guys, because there's 3 connection points at once. We need to pop the pistons into there and the waterway connector there. Now I found this easier. Don't even think about that one, just get your pistons in first. So you've got one hole there, one hole there. Can you see that, guys? And that slides in like so. And that's in. Then you'll see there's 2 holes. There's a hole under there and a hole under there. In slightly later, we're going to fix that, but for now we just want to worry about this. So roughly where that is, take this waterway connector, push that one back and that one so it's away, and then what you want to do is lift the pistons up. Let's bring that down actually, so that you see they're both pointing the same way. So we want to lift those pistons up, not enough for it to come out. And then as we do that, we want to work those waterway connectors together. They're in, and now we push that back to about there. So that's in place. We'll give that a little test, and I'm happy with that. Although that, no, piston came out. It does that sometimes. So let's get that piston in again. once this is all fixed, this will be absolutely fine. It won't fall out. So we get that waterway connector in, and there we go. I know they're in. You can usually tell when it's trying to fall out because this bit is going to move all over the place like that. There we go, guys. So that's in nice. So while we're there, we'll get our F screw ready. Now the 2 screws that we're going to put in, the first one will be hardest. We need to line this up so that the boom arm hole is level with these 2 holes that are there. Can you see the 2 holes? See, that's not level. There we go. Now it's level. And then what we try to hold it there, we pop our screw in. Might need to jiggle it around. I'm definitely going to need to jiggle this around. And I think I've lost my place. Lovely, that's gone in fine. Now, you need quite a thin screwdriver there. So what I've had to do, this is magnetised, but the best screwdriver I've got for the job isn't magnetised. So I just need to get it started with a 1 screwdriver, finish it off with the other. We'll pop that in so it's a little bit tight, but we still want free movement, which we've got there. So once you've got that first one in, it's going to restrict the movement of the second side, or put another way, it's going to be a lot easier to get into place. So hold this in a way that you can get those lined up. There it is lined up, there it is not lined up, and there it is lined up again. We'll pop that screw in. That's gone in lovely. So just in a little bit. I could do it with that screwdriver, but I run the risk of scratching the model. And then holding it somewhere safe, we're just going to finish this off. And hopefully this is going to be a final take. Obviously if you're watching it, it is a final take, but there we go. So that's that working. Watch this, I have knocked this off before. I am also concerned that this is pointing downwards, but in the magazine it's pointing straight up, but it's a movable hose, so it's okay. So when the ladder is down, it's going to be in this position. When the ladder goes up, obviously it's going to move up that way, but you see the guy inside, he needs to stay level with the ground. So what's going to happen is as this goes up, this platform is coming that way, so it's like that. So that's it at its maximum reach, and that's down as level as it will go. So lovely, that's that done. So let me catch up on the instructions. I've just done this so many times now that I know what I'm doing. Right, so we need to assemble that onto the fire truck. Now the way I recommend doing this, if you pull these booms in and out, try to use this metal bit here, because if you use the side you run the risk of knocking the stop gaps off, stop plates, and I'm going to have to move my camera out. Now what I recommend is this particular arm there, just pull it out a little bit, just enough that you can hold it, and that will save you holding on to anything that breaks. And you'll notice you've got these little stop bits there, so we gently hold that. Don't squeeze too hard because you're going to make this impossible to go in, but just hold it gently. Push that in so that the tabs go in, and that's now locked in. So that will go in. This is a bit stiff. Have I missed a bit out? No, I haven't. I have missed a bit out. Right, it doesn't matter. No, I haven't missed a bit out. Yes, I have. Right, so let's pull this out again, guys. Let's do it in the correct order, because the next thing that we want to do is we need to take our ladder bracket from stage 63. This is this bracket. I knew there was a reason I was. You see, each of these have a bracket on them. So this is the one for this one. Doesn't matter which way round it goes, but you've got 2 screw holes and 2 locating pegs, and there you've got 4 holes. The 2 locating pegs go in the middle like that, and you will fix that with a 2 C-type screws. So put one on the table, one on the screwdriver, and as always I'm going to hold this on so I can still get to one screw hole. That goes in just enough to bite, and then the second one can go in fully, and remember that will tell you when it's in enough. Do this first screw hole, make sure that's on nice and tight. Right, so lovely. So that's that bracket in place. So again, going back to this, just extend this first one just to give you something that you can lightly hold on to. Pop that into there like so, and I nearly caught that stop bracket, and there we go guys. So we have one ladder which can be extended. I don't know the best way to pull this one. This will actually be pulled at the bottom, but these are very stiff. I don't know if there's anything we can do about these. Maybe pot some oil on. I don't know. What do you guys think? What would you do? In reality, I won't be playing with this too much, but obviously once it's new, you know I will be playing with it a lot. So that is the end of the 2 issues. Yes, that's the stage complete at last, 3rd attempt. So that will go in there. This is quite difficult to reach. There we go. So that's the ladder in the down position, and that's starting to look quite really impressive. It does look impressive. It has been looking impressive for a while, but it's looking even more impressive now. Right, so we are at the end of the video. So next issue, next stage is going to be 72, 73, 74. I did mention earlier on what we're going to do, but I will give you a clue as to what we're doing, which is going to make me happy. There is a side view. Can you see anything glaringly obvious that's missing? Right guys, I'll catch you in the next issue. Take care, bye bye.